Welcome to In the Round, a podcast for people who love music and genuine conversation. Join us as we sit down with some of our favorite local, regional, and national artists to chat about life and their creative journeys. I'm Dee, I'm a musician, I'm a music lover, and I'm your host. So pull up a chair, get comfy, and enjoy. Our guest this week is Jordan Beem, born and raised Iowa country artist and Midwesterner through and through. We talk about the simplicity in loving what you do, Jordan's active gigging schedule, and the ways he livens up the crowd to keep them coming back for more. So let's get into it. We do like to keep it casual around here. So she counted down, but it's not like we're actually going like live on TV, so we can chill a little bit.
We can talk. Get into it a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
Roll into it. Yeah. There's a lot of fuss going on just now. So, Jordan, welcome to Trilix Studio.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. This place is really nice.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I love it here. And I should say also welcome to In the Round.
Thank you.
Podcast.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
So it's so cool to bring you in here because you do live in Des Moines, in the area. Yep. And so it's great to come in. And I always love seeing other musicians' reactions to the space because being a musician myself, I still think it's awesome. So I love getting incredible.
It is incredible in here. Like the sound room is just like incredible. So the studio. Yeah, it's just that the speakers in there, like you have to see it in person. You have to hear it in person, right? Right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's cool to have you here, and we're just pumped to also help share your music.
Yeah.
I love the setup that we were working on before you came, like for the lighting and everything. And I think it really highlights a song that you played for us, which is Fire and Flame.
Yep.
And you've been promoting that for a while, but when did that come out? That was last.
That song came out in April of 2024.
Yeah.
Yes. Last year.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep. So that was the second song I ever released. It's a song I kind of wrote about a little bit about my girlfriend, a little bit about where I was at the time. But it's kind of my most like sentimental song. But it also usually works best for like an acoustic, just kind of show off what's the acoustic sound setting.
Yeah.
So that was why I was like, oh yeah, I'll play Fire and Flame here. I think we've got a new one coming out on Friday, but it's full band. It's more like rocky. So I was like, do the acoustic-y song.
Yes. Okay. By the time this episode drops, that song will be out.
That song will be out. It's called That's Just Living in the USA. It's our first like rocky country party bar patriotic kind of song. I'm used to writing more folky stuff, and I figured like since our shows are so upbeat, might as well like get something that's upbeat out there. So less intense writing to that one, just a fun song. So
just a fun patriotic bop, I believe you described.
That's exactly what it is. That's right. Yeah, that's what it is. So
no, but I looking through kind of your history and listening to your music, I did notice that there's this great I feel like you're doing the song and dance that is being an independent musician, and that on the weekends you're playing ripping covers, playing at bars, the sing-along songs, like literally all the videos I feel like of the live crowds, they're just singing along as loud as they can, which is awesome.
It is. It's
but
fun.
then on the flip side, I've really enjoyed your original music, so I really appreciate to see, like, I can't wait to see your growth with that. Yeah. And I'm glad you're kind of, you can do both, is my point. You can do the bop.
And we'll still play our originals at our shows a lot, even though they're just like, get the crowd going. Everybody's, drinking a beer, doing whatever, like they're dancing. We still will throw our originals into our live show, but I think after we do this upbeat one, we might go a little bit back and do kind of like maybe a ballad or a power, just something a little bit bigger. But we just wanted to try our hand in getting a full band on something, because so far it's just been me acoustic or me with maybe a violinist or somebody like that, or I said violinist, a fiddle player. I'm a country guy, right?
Sure, right.
A fiddle player. It just stuff like that, just adding in a little extra dobro maybe. So it's going to be interesting to see how the full band, how people like it. And it's just such a simple song compared to the other ones, lyrically. So it'll be nice.
Right.
It'll be interesting.
Again, good sing along to, raise your beer too, obviously. So in that sense, I want to go back. I heard some interviews where you talking about you were playing Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
And your dad was like, learn to play a real guitar.
Yeah.
And when did you start playing guitar?
So I was in high school.
Like real guitar.
So I was in high school. Or actually, I was probably in like 8th grade. And the Guitar Hero thing happened. My dad was like, hey, learn how to play real guitar. You should anyway. he kind of made fun of me. And so there was this class in high school, like fine arts class. But the guy who taught us at the time, he was learning guitar with us. So he didn't even know how to play. He just learned as we learned. So we all learned together. And so I learned like 2 chords, and then YouTube. That at the time, like guys like Justin Bieber, or he was big on YouTube at the time in like 2010. Or like John Mayer, Jack Johnson, all these guys were playing a lot of stuff on YouTube. So I was just watching all them play. Boyce Avenue is another cover artist who he's like kind of popular for YouTube at the time, but just watching all those guys, and then I just sit there and watch videos and like learn chords. And I still mostly, I mostly just play chords and little riffs here and there, but I learned super organically, and just like any other like millennial would learn on YouTube. So
right. It is kind of weird to be getting into that era where it's like, oh yeah, I watched this video 7 million times and that's how I learned.
That's how I learned,
there's a lot, you're not alone there. But okay, so 8th grade, high school. And were you singing? Like, were you in choir?
No, I was sang. I was sitting at home. I always kind of sang around the house and stuff when I was a kid. No, so I was playing guitar, and I started playing "Bubbly" by Kobe Calais a little bit. Just messing around, just pop songs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, you might have a little something there. And so I kept playing and playing. And so I'd play in front of my parents like every night until I figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
And then eventually like did like a talent show at school.
Yeah.
And,
wow.
Finally got a gig. And like when I was in high school, I think I was like 15, 16 at the local like bar restaurant thing.
Oh, nice.
Like a 2-hour show, and just pumped out as much material as I could through that 2 hours. And then after a couple more years playing, I was actually in football, so I went and played college football down at Simpson College, and so it kind of took a back seat while I did that, and then after I got out of college, I got back heavy into it. So yeah.
Wow, so your voice is really naturally developed, which is amazing, because you have a gorgeous voice.
Thank you.
It seems really natural in that sense of like maybe you didn't learn habits early on that have affected you. It's like come really naturally.
Well, I did. So finally, my senior year, I did join choir because
everyone knew you were good at that point. They're like, get the good guy in here.
Well, they were like, they'd seen like talent show a little bit because I always posted YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, well, we should try. And my choir, the teacher, she was my study hall teacher. She's like, when are you gonna try choir? I was like, I'll do it next year. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, I was like, why didn't you ask? And it was just really fun. And oh my God, I had the best experience. Like. I met so many amazing people through choir, like, because when you're a football guy, you don't know if it's going to mesh.
Right.
You just don't.
Right.
You're in high school, and I was in Southeast Polk, so it's a bigger school. Best experience ever, best choice I ever made. I met like some great friends doing that. So it was fantastic. Yeah.
Well, there's a camaraderie. What's funny is, like, to your point, there's a translation there of like when you play on a football team and you're with those people and you're working out together and you're doing it. The same thing happens in choirs.
Seriously.
Just different.
It was great. We had and then I joined musical theater, like the speech team, musical theater. Did 2 years of that, and I never thought I was going to be that guy, and I loved it. We had so much fun.
Look at you. You got the performance bug from that.
I can't act at all, but I can't really dance or act, but they taught me some stuff, and like I learned the best I could. But it was just cool, it kind of got me out of my shell, and and that also helped with playing in front of crowds and stuff, So
right, that's half the battle. Yep. I mean, I feel like a lot of people can sing in their shower, but getting up in front of 100 people is a totally different ballgame.
Totally different. Yes, it is.
You need those skills that you called upon. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and that translates into other things in life too. I feel like. Your day job, your anything, you
just talking to people.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like performers end up in jobs where they just have to talk to people.
Yep. That's
which
a fact.
I say very obviously because I'm sitting here talking to you.
Yeah.
For my job.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah.
But all of that too is thinking, you gig just an insane amount. You gig 3 nights a week while working full time, which is incredible.
Yep.
And that also takes a lot. Like you have to take care of yourself when you're singing, and especially loud bar, kind of chanting along, type things.
It's a lot, and obviously, you'll have a stray bush lighter here will come in or whatever. So you have to take better.
Whiskey.
Yeah, well, you have to take care of your voice a lot. So it's like if it's a day of a gig, it's a gallon of water at least. Just trying to take care of your voice, but also sleep. You got to sleep, figure out little things, honey, lemon tea, whatever. But it's been a lot. It's gotten a lot busier, obviously, in the past couple of years. But 3 gigs a week has just been, it's been crazy, but it's been fun. It's been really fun. We love doing it. So.
It sounds like you're doing kind of a tornadic growth pattern in terms of like you started locally, you play a lot of the shotgun betties and, places in the metro, but then you're kind of swirling out to, you're just in Sigourney, right? And,
Wisconsin,
just seeing that.
Just trying to, I think our whole thing is sometimes you play so many shows in one area, you're like, okay, we got to move out, and people have seen us enough. But we still
how much
love.
Can my dad come?
Yeah,
to?
right?
I say same thing. I'm the same boat.
Well, and we've got our crowd, like our following here that comes anywhere. So we want to bring our following with and build our following. So we're trying to get into Okoboji or Fort Dodge or even out on the like Davenport. And so, we just figured if we stayed here the whole time, we'd get a little, people would be like, wow, we've seen them 1,000 times. Right. Even though we love playing everywhere in Des Moines. Yeah. It's just nice to be like, oh yeah, we played Davenport this weekend. It was great. And so, it's
hit the road,
fun.
Meet new people, meet people you can play with or collaborate with down the line. Like it's kind of twofold. It's audience and also
other artists.
Yeah, other artists. Like I love it.
Like Fort Dodge, that place is saturated with country rock artists. They have jam night there that's insane. Oh, wow, shout out Fort Dodge, probably one of the biggest, best music scenes around for some reason, and I love those people.
Wow, yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, what's funny is there's so much going on in Des Moines. I mean, you can almost see any, we have we have all these places where you can see any genre. Yep. But I do feel like we all get kind of siloed because of the rural nature of the state, where it's like Iowa City has their thing and Fort Dodge has their thing, but that's cool. Yeah, breaking out to that.
Yep. And, it's more like the Fort Dodge scene is more like the rugged, the rock, the country, the bar scene. Right. But there's so many talented musicians. And so and obviously Des Moines has that too. Just everything you could want here in Des Moines. Right. Jazz, rock, freaking theater, whatever everything. You want.
Yeah. Right. So. Right. There's a lot going on. So in terms of when you think about future forward, is that kind of the plan? Like you just want to kind of slow build? It seems like you're doing that in a purposeful way. Like I don't want to make it sound like you're moving slow because you're not. You're doing a lot. But it's a balance of like content and then also, I mean, I don't know. Is that kind of would you like to tour more? Yeah,
I just think we want to grow year over year. That's been our thing. Just grow year over year, play bigger and bigger shows. I think 2 years ago was the first rodeo or county fair I ever played, and now we're doing a whole bunch of rodeos and county fairs. So that's kind of our path right now. And then also getting into some ticketed shows, like playing opera houses, theaters, places like XBK, places that are dedicated music or you're here for the show versus playing a bunch of bars. So maybe in the summer we don't play any bars or as many bars as we used to. And so now we're just trying to spread that out, and then eventually we'll be playing hopefully county fairs in other states, and then just continue to grow and put out music. And content and everything that's first and foremost. Like promoting is my favorite thing. We love promoting. We love making sure.
No one ever, but go ahead.
It's just kind of a fun little thing to learn how to do, especially on social media. And so it's just been really fun to kind of build a following and then figure out ways hey, everybody should know that we have a show. Their choice is to go or not, right? That's kind of our what we're trying to do. And maybe we annoy some people with our Facebook stuff a lot. We post a lot, but
that's what otherwise they're like, oh, I didn't hear about this.
Exactly. So we want to make sure people know we're playing. So
and the algorithm changed. So you gotta just lean into it and
hope
post
for the best.
So
just growth. It's just that's our mindset. Really no big goal. We just want to play music for as many human beings as possible. So
no, I love that.
Yep.
And I love that you sprinkle in some originals, especially when the podcast, we really like to focus on original music. And I think but I think your story is so relevant of musicians. A lot of folks are having to play covers on the side. Not that it's not fun. It's so fun to play covers. Yeah. Especially the ones everyone knows the words to and they're singing along. It's absolutely fun.
Yeah, but that's our mojo right now.
Exactly. So. Yeah. But that's what pays for you to be able to do everything else.
Yes.
So we talk about this a lot, with other artists. It's the same thing. Sometimes that cover gig pays for your album, it does. Pays for recording and being able to create. Yeah.
And also it builds your fan base because you've got people who want to come back and see you because you kind of gave them an experience. We focus a lot on crowd work, getting the crowd into it. Raise your glasses. Everybody's kind of partying, having fun. So when you come to see us, we want to create an experience or I want to go back because we had so much fun last time we went.
Yeah.
And so that helps you kind of build your, your fan base. And then they hear your originals and they're like, oh, cool, he's got originals.
Yeah.
And then some of them don't know because maybe there's a show where we only played one of them or something.
Right.
So it's kind of nice to be able to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, they have originals.
Yeah.
And then they start liking that and you just keep building. So, yeah.
And it's funny because saying as a performer, oh, we want to bring an experience, that sounds really simple, but it's not. Because we've also all seen the bands that just get up there and play and it's like you're not in the room, which can be a vibe on its own.
Oh, for sure.
I don't want to, I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum. But yeah, I think there's something really to be said, especially based on the type of music that you play and, like creating when people say stage presence, that's what they're like, you involved me in your performance and it drew me in. And I think that's, it sounds like something small, but it's actually.
Yeah, it's important. That's what we do. I mean, it's being a performer is like, that's why we do it. We love the crowd. Right. We love, and also working with the venues. Like the venues love that because then you can bring people back and then they want to hire you again because you brought a bunch of people out. So it's always just trying anything we can do to make sure that people are having a good time.
Right.
For the venue, for ourselves, for the crowd, and just in general. So.
Yeah.
Howdy, y'all. Experience the best of Des Moines nightlife at Shotgun Betty's, the city's #1 country bar. Enjoy live music, karaoke nights, DJs, and a spacious dance floor. Join us on Facebook to see what's shaking next. Giddy up and join us for a good old time at Shotgun Betty's. Yeehaw!
Do you guys take tambourines with you? Or
we do.
Okay.
We do, yeah.
I saw this video, and what was funny about that is I was like, that's bold, sir, because the lady on the video was not in
She's
time.
way off.
And I was, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
My drummer, John Griffiths, shout out John. He's amazing. I just started playing with him in June. He hates the tambourine thing. He doesn't hate it. I shouldn't say that. He loves it. He loves the party aspect of it, but sometimes he makes fun of me. He's like, dude, why you got to bring the tambourine?
No, I was like,
fun.
This is such a fun idea. It's like a party favor almost.
Yep.
But I was like, oh, but that lady's so off. And
And so we have smaller tambourines, bigger ones, but we just give them out like, hey, we need some people up here on these tambourines. So it helps us, even if people are feeling a little uncomfortable in the beginning doing it, we still get them up there.
Yeah.
So we don't really care if we make you feel a little uncomfortable in the beginning of the show, because by the end, hopefully you're going and having fun.
But they were all super into it.
They're into it, yeah.
It was just, I was like, that would be tough for me to be like, all right, and give that one back.
Well, yeah, sometimes, so like at the college bars, like this last weekend, we were in Madison, Wisconsin. They all get stolen. Like
totally.
They're all gone. Actually, one survived, which I was shocked. Wow. It was still on the stage somewhere amongst the beer cans, but at some of our other shows, they know to give them back to us, but it is such a fun touch. And I learned that from Joe Inman. He's another artist in Des Moines. He plays covers around, and he's a good buddy of mine. And he's like, dude, bring some tambourines, man. I'm like, all right. So I copied him. So
next is kazoos, and then the world. Who knows?
Kazoos. I think he brings kazoos to his, actually.
Does he?
Don't quote me on that, but he might. He may have done that once or twice.
I mean, I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, it's all in the like. Just let's have some fun.
No, it's such a great way to get people included, and I'm sure there are gigs you're playing too where there's like kids there, and like
give the little one to the kids, or like a sticker. We also have like our merch, so give them a sticker or whatever, and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, got up to Madison. So I was trying to think of something that I want to ask is like describing your fans, because I'm curious about when you go up to Madison, you're playing a lot of bars, like college areas, but I also see videos. I mean, it's just totally widespread. So, but a lot of just straight up country fans.
Yep.
But also kind of everyone, right?
So it's spread out. When I think about who our typical fan would be, it could be a college kid, but also I think our fan base ranges from like 22 to like, the main gist of it ranges from 22 to maybe 50 or 45, just somewhere in there.
People that still like to boogie.
Well, people who are kind of like, we're just kind of your regular people's group, like, like just people who want to go out and have a good time. And then we also have like our country folks who really love country music, and they get dressed up, or they come out because they know there's country music at that place that night. So they're there for the country. And so at those shows, we try to play obviously more country music and things. Yeah. And it just kind of depends on the show what we play sometimes. But
right, because you also do rock and pop covers and things like that. Do you see any of that trickling into new music that you're writing? Like
yes,
your original music?
For sure. Like the new song
new song
coming out is very Springsteen-y kind of. It's very like Bruce Springsteen, sort of rocky, country. So I do see that. But the songs we write are country, but they've got our own spin on them. Yeah. We've got some new ones that'll be coming out in the next year or two that are different. They're not just country. A couple of them are kind of like almost like prison bluesy country style, stuff like that. So it's...
Did you go to prison? And
I did not.
Then
I didn't.
So not authentic.
No prison. No, I did not ever go to prison. No, yeah. I promise. Go look. But we're just like our influences are widespread. So when we have an idea for a song, maybe it comes from like an Aerosmith vibe, or maybe it comes from like a bluesy vibe, or maybe it comes from Chris Stapleton, or who knows.
Yeah,
so just all over the place, really. We just want to put out hopefully good music, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is there a cover song that you play that you actually hate to play?
A cover song that we play that I hate?
I mean, probably not, otherwise you wouldn't do it, but is there one you're sick of, maybe?
Like Wagon Wheel, Wagon Wheel.
Gosh.
Yeah, like
even I'm triggered by that.
I'm tired of Wagon Wheel. I'm tired of a couple different ones. Yeah. We play Sweet Caroline at shows, but it's only because we know the crowd's going to do the bump, bump, bump.
Yeah.
And we don't care. We love that. So I don't hate that one.
Right.
I'm an Iowa Hawkeye fan though, so like all the Iowa State people, they love that song. So I kind of have to talk about them when we do that. But so maybe those two, Wagon Wheel especially. It's just that song's been being sung in bars since I don't know 1700 or something. Yep. A lot of the songs that we play have been, but we like it's if the crowd gets tired of them, eventually we'll switch them. But some of them, it's just like, you know what? They sing along.
No, they sit right.
We're happy.
You're always like, but then it's fun in the middle when they get going. Oh yeah, man. Wagon Wheel though.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
That totally came to my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So I was curious that you mentioned some of your influences. You mentioned your girlfriend inspired Fire and Flame somewhat. What are things that inspire you? I hear in your music, the first song you ever released was Iowa Skies. Yeah. Love that because I obviously am an Iowan who appreciates our flat state.
Not a lot going on.
But those skies, man.
The skies are good.
Yeah.
I think it's such a mixed bag. I tend to just kind of write what comes to my mind or about how I'm feeling. So if you listen to the songs I've got out, most of them are about the way I'm feeling at the time. Slow Down was about the way I was feeling at the time. Fire and Flame was the same way. Iowa Skies was really a feeling song. It's about so that's generically what we write, except for the new one coming out. But it's still kind of like a feeling. So I probably write more so like the way that I feel versus about something specific or about a person or about like an experience or whatever it might be. So it's really just what if I'm feeling down, I might write a sad song. If I keep it super simple. I don't try to overthink it. But I'm always writing just slow to get in the studio because we're always playing gigs.
No kidding. No time for that. I know. I was curious. I mean, you gig so much. What do you do in your downtime? Do you have downtime?
I don't have a lot of downtime. I've got Emily at home and her daughter Hazel, who's there half the time, so I spend time with them. But other than that, I watch a lot of podcasts.
Hey.
Shout out. I do that a lot. We're always watching just different movies and things, but I don't know. I like to see my friends, just regular stuff, go hang out at maybe at the bar, go to dinner somewhere. It's crazy because basically the only downtime we get is Monday through Wednesday. Maybe Monday, Tuesday, Sundays, but Sundays are usually pretty wiped out from the weekend of the gigs and stuff. So really just regular people stuff when it's not when I'm not on the phone doing Facebook or Instagram or whatever it might be.
Which is also a full-time job. You technically have two full-time jobs.
Yeah.
I feel like. Nice. I noticed. So you've been doing a lot on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, of course. But you also, I'm curious if it's one of your new release songs, but your TikTok Troubadour little clip that you. The song that you put out that was, or like snip of a song.
Oh, I almost forgot about that.
Oh man, it's funny. It's very like tongue in cheek, but it's you're writing about like put out some songs, thought they did well, but then something happened, and then you're like, then another 23-year-old blonde goes viral again. Yeah. I forgot about that song. Yeah.
I think I sent that to Royce Johns. Shout out Royce. I think I talked to him about that. That's maybe been about a year and a half ago now.
Yeah.
But I don't post as many just me singing videos anymore on TikTok. Right. Now it's just like posting shows because that's what I have footage of. So I'm like, I got to get something out.
Yeah.
But I need to get back on and write some more stuff and like fun stuff like that and put them out. But yeah, that one was just for fun about like, you know, oh, here goes another 23-year-old blonde going viral for who knows what these days.
I know, right. Yeah,
so.
right. Or another musician. Like sometimes it feels totally arbitrary. I mean, a lot of the videos that make it to the top of the pile, I feel like people are talented or great. Yeah, or simple. And so it's like, you know, what is it? We're all doing that song and dance, you know, of like,
what is it? Yeah, I think.
How do you break through the noise?
And I think the best like way to see that, and I don't know because I haven't done the TikTok explosion thing yet, but I think you just put out what's authentically you. I know Tyler Richton and the High Bank Boys did that, and one of their videos exploded. And so really and that's another band in Iowa, shout out to those fellas. Woo! But they just put out a video that was something that you would totally see them doing. It was a funny video of them singing something out in a field. But that's totally them, and it worked. And so I think the more you can try to be yourself, just put stuff out that's you.
Right. Yeah. That's my approach too. I mean, that's my thought is, and you always, you know, grain of salt, depending on how you're doing it in terms of, I was just talking to another artist about having at least some layer of protection between performance you and real you, because, you know, I tend to be kind of a heart on my sleeve person. I get that from you too. Just like say it like it is. But there is an element too of like, well, I got to hold a little bit back so they don't know your next move. Right.
Yep. Like, you got to surprise them and always keep them on their toes. That's a good point.
Keep something going. But I also love though how you're like, this isn't hard, this is simple. Like you write what you feel and you talk about it.
Well, I mean, people will hear that and be shocked because I'm such an overthinker. Like with our shows, like after every show I'm like, how was the sound, how was the mix, was the guitar too loud, the drums, how are the you know, how was my voice? Like, so I'm always overly worried. So I'm glad to hear that. You think?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm laughing about. You make it sound so simple, but I'm like, oh, it's just because you've got this naturally great voice. You learn guitar from YouTube, and boom, you're done. Like,
well, there's a lot, man, and you know, like all the work that goes into it is so much not about the show that when you get to the show, sometimes what's fun is just to play the music and not worry about it and get people going, get the crowd going. I still worry about it every time. But you know, it really is great to just like, okay, I did all this work. We promoted the show. We've got this set list. Let's just go play our music. And then sure, am I going to worry about it every time? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here we are, like we're having fun. You know, I'm always going up to people in the crowd. How's the mix? And I got to quit doing that. It's too much.
They don't know.
I know. They have no idea. And so I got to quit with that. Like my drummer, he's like, man, we sound fine. Just stop. And so I just, you know, you get musicians a lot of times they're perfectionists with the sound, especially.
Oh, yeah.
So, and our sound is, we're very basic the way we run it. So, you know, I try to keep it as simple as possible while not worrying, but, you know, sometimes you worry.
Yeah. No, that's so true. And I was playing a show earlier this week and someone was like, oh man, you're so fearless on stage. I'm like, well, or I'm nervous as heck and I'm just letting it out that way. You know, like I feel like people don't realize that because a lot of times you're on stage going, oh man, my pedal's cutting out. Like this is happening. And you got to just keep it going. And I'm like, it's the most fake it till you make it job. And at some moments, you know.
Sure is like I break a lot of strings. And so like sometimes like I'll break a string and just play a 5 for the next 2 songs.
I was gonna say, how fast at changing strings have you gotten?
Super fast. Well, in the summer I sweat really bad, so I break a lot of strings. Like I think that's why. But in the winter I don't. But so I don't bring my backup guitar in the winter because I'm lazy and I should. And that's the dumbest thing. I don't know why I don't. But in the summer I do. Yeah. But so sometimes I'm like, all right, Johnny's gonna play you a beat. Who's the best dancer in the crowd? And then I'll change a string while I'm doing that.
That's good though.
Quick and then it's all out of tune for the next 3 songs. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a very roll with the punches guy. Like some things you just gotta deal with them as they come and just you'll get through it. So
I like the idea that you're your own pit crew. You're like
Man, it's my buddy Marco actually does guitar teching for Tank Anthony. He's another artist in Iowa. And I brought Marco with me one weekend, and it was so nice to have him changing my strings. So shout out Marco. Oh my gosh, I got to train somebody to do it so that they can come out and come change them for us.
Make Royce, tag along.
Royce has got his own shows. He's got his own shows he's doing.
I was like, not that he has anything. He has his own kids and his own shows.
Yeah, that's true. He's got everything going on,
I feel like there should be a trade program.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm doing that.
Yeah, Royce, come change strings.
Yeah, come. He's too talented for that.
He's way too talented for that.
Rude. So you play a Martin guitar, which is in that case over there. Now that people can see me, I can say things and point to things.
Nice.
So, but you mentioned that you had one guitar, one guitar strap, you're not a gearhead guy.
I'm not a gearhead at all, other than sometimes, like at first I was kind of like live sound, like speakers and stuff, but I'm still not. Like my mixer is super rude, like simple, easy mix. I don't mess with the crazy. 4 knobs or
less. That's
I'm
my
serious.
motto.
Yeah, it's like that. I've got the one guitar. I have 2, obviously, or 3, but I only use that one on the road ever, or the backup guitar. The same strap I've been using on every guitar. I switch it out even if I switch guitars. I'm not a gearhead at all, and I don't play electric, so I don't have a lot of pedals or anything like that. Yeah. I don't know why. I just like to get up and play the music and beat the heck out of that guitar until it's needs refretted all the time and stuff. But it's
it's like a car that you gotta just keep working on. You're like, but it's vintage. It's worth it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I don't know why I'm not a gearhead. I'm just not. I mean, we've got nice speakers and stuff, and I've got all my equipment, but I'm not. Yeah, I don't wrap cables well either.
Oh, don't get me started.
I don't wrap them well.
Working here, I'm always like, don't let me wrap your cables because I will do it wrong.
Yeah,
I will wrap it around my elbow like a just Neanderthal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's bad. Well, good to know that we're in
on
that
the same
club
page.
together. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll have to take a class together or something. No, I do know the right way to do it. I just always don't.
I do. Like, I half do it the right way. Like, I go over, and you're supposed to go over under. I just go over and over.
Yeah.
And I just throw it in there, and it looks all messed up. It's fine.
It just goes into a box anyway.
Yeah.
You tour around so much that I wanted to ask if you had a crazy story, like crazy bachelorette party or anything you can think of. I
mean, there's just been a lot of like people falling over. Like, like people, you go to these places and they've been drinking, and so sometimes somebody will fall over into one of your like not into your equipment, but maybe a little bit on your mic stand, or people spilling, or like people. Once in a while, I've seen a fight or two at a bar. Yeah, like stuff like that. But
you're
nowadays,
like, give peace a chance.
Yeah, well, and so like I don't know, just a fun thing from recently. Like I told you, we played in Madison, and we got done with the show, and so it was like a regular, pretty good sized stage. You could fit a full band on it, and in front of the stage at the very end of the night was probably, like, no joke, like 100 empty drinks around the stage. Like, just, because that's what the college kids do. They set their drinks on the stage, and so you're moving your electronics back the whole time, making sure no one's spilling. I put towels in between stuff and just trying to like make sure nothing's spilt on it. But like just little stuff like that where you're like, man, how are we even like, how is nothing damaged?
Yeah, no kidding. But you're like, what's this in my, how's Jello in my mono?
Like stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I mean, you get some funny like notes, and can you play this song? You've never heard of the song.
Oh my gosh.
Just little, you name it. Like everybody out there who's played live music, you name it, it's happened, So
I mean, I imagine you get a lot of Pink Pony Club requests, probably.
Absolutely not.
Really? I'm kind of surprised. I feel like that song like is above all genres. Like you could be at a metal show and someone would be like, Pink Pony.
Nope. I do know that my friend Tyler Folkerts, who's another Iowa musician, plays that song. So shout out Tyler.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
He's the ladies' man. So Tyler Folkerts, wherever you're sitting, that's for you. He's the man.
God, I love it.
Yeah.
Dude. Well, yeah. Another question for a road dog that I like to ask is, what's your go-to snack? Ooh. / also, you could talk about your preferred gas station.
Quick Star.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quick with a K.
Quick Star, with the K. Quick Star is the best. They have everything, and at any time of night. So like we'll be leaving a gig at 2:30 in the morning from Iowa City or wherever it might be, like El Rey's over there, and we're on the way home, and we're on the interstate. Oh, there's a Quick Star. We'll pull over and get the food.
Their
Just
chicken's actually legit.
I mean, some of it isn't even good, but it tastes good at 2, 3 in the morning. I mean, but Quick Star's food is great for a gas station, so we'll take it. No,
Absolutely.
it's Quick Star, and probably they have the cheese filled breadsticks with the marinara. At like 3 in the morning, I'll eat those in 0.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like just
like get 2
those are
sets
the
of
best.
them.
Yeah. So
I just feel like I always love asking musicians about that because there's a fire that lights up in your eyes when you talk.
When
2 a.m. snacks.
Because there's nothing. Because you don't realize how like hungry you are after a show.
Yeah, because you don't. It's not.
I can't
don't
eat
like to
before
eat
shows.
before a show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So you're starving.
Yes, I made the mistake once of like throwing down a couple tacos, and it's not even people. People don't realize that it really is like the belch or the airflow situation. If you're having to sing, like it just
not good.
Doesn't work. And then you get done and it's late and you're like, crap.
Yep. And you're like, I'm starving.
Yeah.
I'm going to Quick Star right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
And just eating all the chicken. Oh, I love it. Well, you should talk to them because I feel like you could write like an anthem for
Quick
them
Star
or
anthem.
something.
Yeah.
We'll work on that. We'll go pitch it
studio.
To them. Yep. Okay. Now, since we're talking about food, I did have one note before we wrap. There was an interview where you're talking about they were making handballs. This was the Sigourney thing, and they were talking about handballs, and you were like, "Yeah, handballs," and I was like, handballs. "Yeah, man."
Yeah.
To me, it's like one of the most Iowa things,
it's just,
right?
Isn't it just I don't even know what they are. Is it just a meatball made out of ham?
I mean, yeah, I think
pretty sure that's what it is.
But I don't know.
That day we had Steve Shetler bought us lunch afterwards. Shout out, Steve. Thank you for that. But I didn't get handballs, but somebody did. Lee Klett, another Iowa artist, he got handballs.
Yeah.
He makes the merch too, so.
Oh, cool.
He's
really?
the man.
Okay. That's awesome.
We're all kind of part of the Midwest Country Music organization.
Yes, right.
And so a lot of those guys, I know them from like Fort Dodge and up north. And then there's a lot of Des Moines artists that are in it too. So
that's really growing.
Yeah. And over the past like 3 years, because at first I was kind of a lone guy. I didn't know anybody in the music scene. I was just playing shows by myself. From 2017 until like 2021, and then I started meeting all these people, and so finally got to be that kind of a part of that organization. And that's why I say all these names, because like the most fun part of doing what we do is being a part of the community, right? So like
totally.
That's literally the best thing is it's great, like doing well, bringing crowds or doing whatever it is. But the biggest thing is like, I've got musician friends I could call if I have a question, or like, if I'm struggling with something, or like just as friends.
Or need dobro on something. Or
like
100%. Yeah.
So like we have such a supportive scene in the state of Iowa. It's like, and we have artists come in from out of state that are like, you guys are really nice. And we're like, because we all support each other. Like genuinely, we all want to see each other do good. And I've heard that other places aren't. I'm not going to say that. Some places probably are a little more cutthroat than it is here. But for us, like obviously we're competitive and everybody wants to do well, but we want everybody to support each other and make sure that if one person succeeds, then we all do. And it's like a big family. So
right. I mean, you think about places like Nashville; those are going to be more, I feel like, competitive just by nature.
Yeah, I would imagine.
It's also an area where potential talent is kind of sourced. And I feel like since people are sleeping on Iowa, which is ridiculous because the talent here is insane. Like, what else do we have to do other than be really talented? So,
be musicians.
I feel like,
That's it.
I feel like that's why there's some opportunity there, and like that's where the community comes from. And I totally get what you're saying, because that show I played this week was the Monday Night Live series at XVK, where it's a free show.
Oh yeah,
and so
that's
like
awesome.
Ton of people come.
That's cool.
And it's seriously like my church is what I call it. Like it's the people there are so wonderful. Like not only the people on stage, but the people in the crowd. But getting up there with Patricia Hartman and Nella Thomas and Ann Ducharme-Jones and Dave Ducharme is just one of the best players.
Those
Ben
two,
Mars was on bass, and Russ. It's like it's all the familiar faces, but it always just like refills my cup when the world is going haywire and nothing feels right. And then you get in a room where people are singing along, or people are, it's like indescribable. We always talk about it. And
like I told you, we played that Fort Dodge jam night. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but
I
went and did that, and I don't know any of those people. And they were, I shouldn't say that. I knew like probably 10 people there.
Yeah.
But the rest of them I didn't know, and they were so accepting. They were just like, dude, let's get you up. Let's sing a song and like come sing. Like this guy's playing guitar, this random dude's playing bass. There were like a high school kid on the drums, and it was just,
gosh.
oh,
and there's
dude.
always a random sax player, right? Or something.
There's somebody there, yeah. And so like, and it's a different scene. Like, and there's so many different scenes. Like I've never been to the Monday night, and I probably don't know a lot of those people, but I guarantee you they'd be awesome and nice and kind, and
totally.
So that's the cool thing. Like, yeah, Iowa nice is a real thing, and it also it leaks over in the music scene. So
yeah, and I'm glad to hear that's your experience too, because we don't really run necessarily in the same circles. But I love, like, to me, I also feel like it doesn't matter. Like, we tend to be siloed a bit because of genres. It just works out that way. But I feel like there's a lot of crossover, though. You just got to ask. You know,
I know, like my buddy Nate Sparks. I don't know if you know Nate at all. He plays over at Noche. Like, just he's amazing. I don't know if he plays a whole bunch of places, but he plays. And I don't know how many bands, like 3 or 4, I don't know. But he's incredibly talented. Yeah. And he's not anywhere near the scene that I'm in, but I know if I called him, he'd be like, he'd talk to me about whatever. So, and help me out with stuff or like, you know, so it's just really cool. There's a lot of talented people here that are really nice.
Yeah. So. I always try and be a resource for folks like coming through, like you mentioned, like people from out of state. If they reach out, even if we can't do a show, I try and refer them out, and also just talk about the venues that we have, because we did lose a lot in the pandemic. And, you know, for example, XBK carries a lot of the weight, I feel like, of
they are right now,
some of the, like, because we miss Gaslamp, like, Gaslamp, just miss that.
There's still
spot.
Lefties. There's still, you know, there's still
other
XBK.
great Lefties is great, and I kind of like how that area is kind of growing as the creative center. But I think it's important though, like places in Fort Dodge and stuff. Like when people don't get out and we don't talk about it, like it's good to talk about it and kind of find these places and these
there's
hubs.
So many like connective layers more than there would be like just like. You know, you go to a different scene and it might be cliquey at first, you think, but then you realize, oh, they don't care. They want to accept me right into their scene. They're just they know each other. So until I talk to them, they're not going to talk to me. But then when I talk to them, they're cool. Yeah. So it seems like that's where it is everywhere I've gone, at least in Iowa. Yeah. Everybody's just been open and supportive. So yep. Well,
don't go to Missouri. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah. No.
I was like, which state should I shit on a little bit? No, I'm totally kidding. Missouri's great too. Gosh, Jordan, it's been such a pleasure.
Thank
it's cool
you.
to meet you, just since we haven't gotten to meet in person.
Yeah,
it's cool to
hear
your
musician.
Music. Yes,
it's awesome.
Yeah, and truly, your voice is incredible, and really love your original music. And your shows look like so much fun.
Thank you.
So I hope people check you out. JordanBeamMusic.com.
JordanBeamMusic.com. JordanBeamMusic _ on Instagram. JBMusic on Facebook. Just about anywhere, you know. Just go look it up. We've got stuff everywhere and anywhere, and we're playing wherever you want to be. So
no kidding. Yeah, that's the best spot for them to go check out, like your next slew of shows. So definitely encourage people to head there. Thank you for being in the round.
Thank you so much.
And we're gonna hear a clip of Fire and Flame.
Awesome.
Find my way home. Northern star rain in the sky. You didn't know even broken men ain't supposed to cry. So lift me up, help me face another day again. I need you when my mind is going on again. I don't know if you can take much more, but I need your help so that I can move through the fire and flame with you. See, loneliness ain't nothing new. You make me think that it ain't real. Hide my eyes from what ain't the truth. Show me how I ought to feel. Find my way home. Northern star ain't in the sky.
In the Round is produced and recorded at Trilix Studio. Remember to subscribe to In the Round wherever podcasts are found.
Even broken men ain't supposed to cry.